Hello. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys how to do some research for your research projects. So you're going to need to learn about the IRSC databases. When you first log into the Pioneer portal, you can go all the way down and you'll find a link to the IRC library databases. It'll look like this. In addition, what you can do is you can go to another tab, go to the main IRC webpage, and where it says quick links, go to libraries. So there's a couple of different ways to get in here. Now, one of the things that I want to make sure you are familiar with is how to find the MLA LibGuide right here, especially where it talks about the annotated bibliography. So I'm just going to click on that. They do have a template that you can download, but if you scroll down, you'll actually see an example of what it should look like. So an annotated bibliography is a list of all your sources that you're looking at with a paragraph of notes on that source. The list is in MLA style, and it's also alphabetically organized by whatever is the first item in your source. So you can see Cooper goes before Hill, and so on and so forth, right? You'll notice that all of these sources are in the hanging indent format, and I'll show you how to do that very quickly as well. And then you have a paragraph of information about the source. The MLA format is on point here for the header with last name and then a page number. And then the information that goes over here on the left side, your name, instructor's name, course number, day, month, year for the date. So I did send out an MLA template to everyone, which you can download. If you go into Blackboard, pretty much I sent it out in the announcements. So I'm just going to log into one of the classes, go to announcements, and I'm going to scroll down. And here's the MLA format. I have a bunch of videos here, and this was a example of how to put the works cited together. So I do try to send you information in the announcement board that will be of help to you, so you can kind of see what everything should look like. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do it from the document format itself. So I'm just going into my Word document. And what I'm going to do is first put in the page number. So I'm going to, over here, you do need it to be in Times New Roman. So let me make it Times New Roman, font size 12. That's the standard format for MLA. Then I'm going to go to Insert, Page Number, and we're going to do top of page, and we just need plain number 3. Okay, and that bumps us into the header. And then we just type in our last name right next to that page number. In order to get out of the header, you just double click out, and then you would put your name, your last name, my name, the class information. So I'll do LIT 1000. And then the date in day, month, year order. Just like that. Now for the annotated bib, your title will be centered. So I'm just going to put in annotated bibliography. And quite often when you're setting up your title, you do want to make it as unique as possible. So let's say something like the consequence of gender in Girl and the Little Mermaid. Just so that, you know, we have an understanding of what we're looking at. So it's around Girl, and then we can put italics for the Little Mermaid, just like that. Okay. So I have a tendency to do dashes, but it should be a colon. All right. So now what we would want to do is start to put some sources in here that we found in the databases. So I'm just going to move this over. I'm going to go back up here to our MLA format and guide. And I'm just going to jump backwards a little bit. Let's see. Databases by subject. And one of the things it should do is it should automatically kind of log you in as long as you're in the Pioneer portal. Or of course, you could always just go here to the databases that way as well. So now I'm just going to scroll down, and what we're looking for is literary criticism. So I'm going to click on that. And what it does, it looks like it didn't change anything, but what it actually has done is it's highlighted the best bets underneath. And I'm going to tell you the order that I think you should use. I would go here first to the Gale Literature Resource Center. Then I would try the EBSCO Literary Reference Center Plus, and then EBSCO, and then finally JSTOR. JSTOR is a huge, huge database. It has so many different academic journals and so many different resources that you actually have to limit it according to the genre you're researching. So I'm going to go here first. And it's loading, thinking. Okay. So I'm just going to leave it at full text documents for now. Where it says name of work, that's where you would put in the main title. Person, by, or about, you put the author in there. If you really wanted to narrow it down even more so, and I don't recommend this because it can really minimize the results that you get, you could put in a theme or an idea or something to do with the format or setting, just to narrow it down. But I'm just going to leave the title and hit search. Okay, so a little bit too big, right? A very general name. So let me go back because this is way too many to go through. So we'll do Girl again. And then we're going to put in Jamaica Kincaid because that should narrow it down quite nicely. There she is. All right, so let's do that again. All right, so now it's real small. Okay, so we have an interview with Jamaica Kincaid, and we have talks with Jamaica Kincaid. Now, in this situation, what I would do is I would get rid of Girl. I would get rid of the title and just see what shows up in Jamaica Kincaid's works in general. So I'm going to go back and just put her in and do a search. Oh, wow. And we have 3 literary criticisms and 1 primary source. Okay, so that's kind of small. Let's go back out and we're going to try a different database. Let me go back here. And oh, they're just listing all of them. Let me go back to literary. And we'll do the reference center. Okay, so we'll put in Girl And we'll put in Jamaica. Okay, let's see if we can, subject, author, and then subjects. Let's try that, see what happens. No results. Eek. All right, so let's just try to get rid of girl and just look at the subject author. All right, so what they're putting in is, let's not do subject author, let's do, let's just put her in as a subject. See what we get. Because we want to know about her. All right, so this is better. So we have 127 sources. Okay. So a world of something, Beyond the Frame, Writing a Life, and Jamaica Kincaid's Family Album. This would be pretty good, I think, if you're working with girl. Just reading through them. The Art of Anger, that's interesting. Reconstructing Identity, that's interesting. All right, so here's the PDF with the full text. And what I want to show you right here is where the cite button is. So what you would do is you would go through to the MLA citation. And here it is. And this is what you would put in as your source information. So I'm just going to pull this back over. And I'm going to paste it in. Let's see. We want to try to keep the italics, so I'm just going to put it in as this. It's automatically setting it up centered, but we don't want that. So I'm going to highlight that, right click, go to paragraph. And what you actually want to do is the hanging indent format. Our spacing should be double space, and we want to get rid of the little extra points there. So let me make sure it's left justified, and there we go. All right, so now we have our first source. Now you would write your paragraph of information that you found in that source. Make sure you put your quotes in quotes. You might want to go ahead and put in your citation as well. So when you go to the PDF, and the nice thing about a PDF, let me just go ahead and open it. The nice thing about a PDF is that you should be able to find page numbers. So if you look through it, page 2, 3, 4, and I want to say, let me see if I highlight this. If I wanted to grab a quote. Yeah, so you can even grab quotes, which is nice. And all you have to do is go back in and make sure that you formatted in the correct MLA format. So just want to make sure it's Times New Roman, font size 12. All right, now this should be indented over. And then you just want to kind of remove the hanging indent format from that, because that should just be the first line. All right, and there you go. So here we have our first source, and we have a paragraph about that source. Okay, and with your annotated bibs, that's what you're doing. You're finding the sources, you're putting them in, and you're taking notes on them. And what I would do is, once again, remember to put in your page numbers. Go for the PDFs, because you'll find page numbers with the PDFs. Because as you go through and you use these sources to write, you want to make sure that if you pull a quote, you have that page number, so you have that citation automatically included, right? And there you go. That's how you do the research. That's how you set up the MLA format. And just at the end, what I would do is highlight everything, make sure it's Times New Roman 12, look at the paragraph, make sure it's 0 and double space. And you kind of want to leave these alone after you've done the special hanging indents and all that. And there you go. That's how you do your annotated bib. So I hope that is helpful to you. If you are not in a literature-based course, and not everybody is in a literature-based course, I want to be able to show you guys how to do that. The databases that I recommend would be under, let's see, where's general? Maybe general multidisciplinary. Let's see what they are suggesting there. All right, that's a lot. Let's do current events. There you go, current events. All right, so that's a little bit better, I think. So with current events, I would go with opposing viewpoints in Gale and CQ Researcher Plus Archive. And if you're in an 1101 class, this is where you want to be. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, have a great day. Oh, there it is.